It's not called the divine in play for no reason. And everyone will recognize that there have been things that have been said, that have been laboured over these many years. Several of them being, you have to know who you are and you have to know what you do. We have to become divine scientists, physicists, alchemists, and psychologists. Every character, every symbol, and every archetype in every story is a part of our self. Every story and everyone's story is our story. And there's a true story that brings up a question for us, a question that needs to be answered. It's a true story, the true story of how a great sufi started and founded an order that was called the Weavers. Now it so happened this great Sufi was jailed because he was accused of being an heretic. But whilst he was in jail, since his occupation was that of a tinsmith, he had his jailers bring to him those things that would enable him to make small items that could be sold, that would augment their very paltry salaries. But during that time, his wife brought to him a prayer mat that she had woven herself. But some time later, the jailers came to the cell to find it empty. The great Sufi was gone. Some years later, the jailer had retired and the great Sufi had been exonerated and cleared of all accusations. So the jailer asked the great Sufi, "What happened for you?" And the Sufi replied, "My wife, who is a weaver, went to the locksmith who fashioned the locks of the jail, and she was able to weave into my prayer mat at the place where I placed my head the design of the keyhole. And with the implements that I had gathered, I was able to make a key that allowed me to be free." This is a true story of a great Sufi who founded the order that was called the Weavers. But for us, it presents a very important question that we can ask ourselves. Do we need that key that buys our freedom from some outside force, waiting for someone to come along and give us this key? Or do we need to fashion this key for ourselves? And if so, having as we had over these last days delved into knowledge Do we fashion this key from intellectual knowledge, skills that we've obtained, even insights? And if not, from what is this key made? What are these stories telling us? My wife went to the locksmith. What does the wife represent in this story? What does the locksmith represent in this story? And wove into my prayer mat at the place of my head the design of that which enabled me to create a key to release me from prison. What say you? How is it for you? Are you trying to put pieces of a puzzle together to make a whole? What does this story mean for you?